Okay, you've probably read and saw pictures in your book about taking your instrument apart, the pieces that we had been working with. But today I'm going to make sure that you are taking it apart now that we have the full clarinet. So the very first thing we do when we're done practicing, we're done playing, is I loosened my screws on my ligature and I lift my reed out. And most of you, your reed is going to slide from the bottom up. Remember, not pushing it in too far because you don't want to chip anything. And then you can put that away. If you got a care kit, you may have something that looks like this. Mine is metal, yours may be plastic. A lot of times they're blue or black in color, that they could be another color. And you see sort of a flat part to this that's going to meet up with the flat part of the reed. So one side of the reed is absolutely flat, and the other side you can see has been sort of trimmed back. That's the side we want to leave up. And I'm going to, if you have one of these from your care kit, they're really handy. Mine holds 4. A lot of times yours, I think, will hold either 2 or 4, depending on the care kit you got. And I just slide it in, and again, I don't smash it all the way up to try to make it level, because I'll actually end up chipping it up here. So I'm going to leave it so that it's sticking out, and I want to be able to easily take my thumb and just slide it back out again with just a little wiggle. These are wonderful because what they do is wood is wet and then it warps, and sometimes when it warps really hard it'll crack. So this pressure actually keeps my reeds very flat. So I highly suggest these. These are wonderful. Like I said, this is called a reed guard. It's the biggest brand name of them. But the plastic ones are fine. I just happen to have one that's made of metal. Okay, so from here, the first thing that I'm going to do then, I think the easiest thing is to break down right here at my barrel. And I'm going to just set it down for a second. So I have my mouthpiece and my barrel together, setting it in my case. From there, I think it's easiest to remove my bell. And so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to set my bell in the spot that it belongs to. And then I'm going to, with very gentle, I'm not going to put my hands over these keys that stick out. I'm going to stay away from them, and I'm going to just, with short twists, twist and pull at the same time. And again, I know you're going to be nervous about that. This is probably a tight joint right here. Going to need it. Mine is going to need a little cork grease today, as it's a little stiff. So just be careful. Take your time. If you need your dad's help or your mom's help, you know, if you're a little nervous at first, but after a while, you won't have any trouble doing this on your own. So I like to set all of my pieces where they belong. And I'm going to go back, and I'm not going to do I'm going to remove my ligature for a moment and take apart my mouthpiece and my barrel. And I'm going to put them in their spot. And you probably have something, this is actually made out of silk fabric. Yours is probably made out of cotton, which is perfectly good. I've had those also. Or it might be a chamois. It's like a golden color, and it's a bit, reminds you of felt, and it might be really very short. Those are awesome too. They all work really well. And what I like to do then is, you'll have a curtain weight for most of you. And so it'll be a little metal piece like this. I have a little bit of extra weight on mine. That's a chain, but this is kind of an oddity. This is not the average swab. So I notice I drop it down through the hole of my clarinet. This is so fun. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to slowly pull straight through. And what it does is it whisks away any moisture. One pull and I'm done. I doubt that you need to pull it through the barrel. If you look, you'll probably see that there's no moisture there, but you can kind of wipe just inside the top edge. There's like a rim in there, just to be sure. The barrel is going to probably show some moisture. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to drop my little curtain weight through, and I'm going to pull it, And I'm not going to do a big long pull. I'm going to do it one time for you. No drama on this. The problem with that is that's how swabs get stuck. So if you notice, I just worked it, you know, a couple inches at a time, and then I re-grabbed and I kept pulling. So I want you to be in that habit, because sometimes when we get in a hurry, we start to do weird things. And I have had swabs stuck inside my instrument, and basically usually you have to cut them out if they're really bad. So you need a new swab. With my mouthpiece, I have a certain type that I don't want to drop the swab through it. So I don't do that as a habit because of what my mouthpiece is made of. But your mouthpiece is perfectly fine to go ahead and draw your swab through it just like I did. And then I'm going to put my ligature on, and you probably have either a plastic or a metal cap that sits over that, and you can go ahead and put that in. So I'm just working from my back forward in my case. You can do the same thing. Your parts may be arranged a little bit different than my case, but that's okay. And then finally, I'm going to do for my last piece. So most of the moisture is going to be the closer to your face, obviously. So notice again, see how I'm pulling here? I don't, especially this piece, there's like a little vent in there and it sticks in the clarinet. This is why I don't want to get in a hurry. Just short little pulls and you're good to go. And so always remember, when you finish putting everything away, latch your case, because it's so easy to forget that step. You pick up your instrument and it goes spilling out all over the place. Hopefully nobody's done that yet, but you know what if you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and it's always scary. If your case is really tight, notice I just did a little trick with my swab. I wound it up around my fingers, and if you didn't, I have a lot of storage here, but if you don't have a lot of storage, there's a lot of brands don't. Here's just a little trick that you can use. I tuck it into my barrel, and in the case it goes, and it leaves the other small storage area room for my cork grease and my reeds. So that's taking your instrument apart. I hope you have an awesome week this week, and I can't wait to hear your progress. See ya.